Every bit of information that's been going around about me is absolutely false. It didn't come from me. And it comes from my mother's family that are committing fraud. My mother, Carol Purdy, her sister, Robin Child's daughter, Chrissy Childs, and Mary Mahowski have been doing it for years. So using my misfortune event of being mugged after work, November 30th, 2007, to see what they can benefit and gain from it. Which does mean NDIS. This has been going on for years. So before even NDIS rolled out, this has been going on where it's using false information about me for somebody else to benefit and gain from my misfortune event of being mugged after work. And they've tried to make out that there was a brain damage where there was memory problems. There never was. Okay, there was me being mugged and robbed November 30th, 2007 in Glasgow, Coma Scale 13. And I can talk for myself, thanks, although no one's got information from me at all. Now, I started Star Casino in March 2001. I interviewed for the host position in 2000. I was over in America in January and February 2001, so I couldn't start until after I got back from the States. Now, when I interviewed for the host position, but I had to start out in TAB and move across to the host position. However, I was a VIP host. Let me just run for this because I don't care anymore. Let's do, okay, so here's, as a VIP host, myself putting the Yarramby cruise together. So, VIP host was myself, executive host was Tony Pacello. This is in 2002. Okay, so again, VIP host is not an Endeavour Room host. Two different people. VIP host looks after the VIP sections of the main gaming floor. Endeavour Room is completely different. Endeavour Room means the private Endeavour Room tables. That's an Endeavour Room host. However, VIP hosts have to cover, well, you have to work in Endeavour Room reception, and I just never wanted to. I had to cover breaks there, which I have covered breaks in Endeavour Room reception. All I did was check people in. So it's very much like the Star Lounge downstairs. So in the Endeavour Room, I checked people in. Okay, so when you walk in from what the Endeavour Room used to be, you walk in for those glass doors, you've got the reception in front of you, and to the left you've got the Endeavour Room. You would come and see me, I'll check you in as an Endeavour Room member, you go into the Endeavour Room. But I never was a host inside the Endeavour Room, I did reception in the Endeavour Room. However, I was a host in the VIP lounges such as Star Lounge, Oasis Lounge, and also did the Blackjack tournaments hosting as well. I was an Endeavour Room, wasn't an Endeavour Room host, I was a VIP host. Those are two different levels. Same pay, depending, because as per anyone who worked there, no, it's a cutthroat industry. It's very bitchy, and you are not, well, you're always told to not discuss your pay packet. So, for example, what an Endeavour Room host, like I remember, was it Jason Betts? Not Jason Betts, Jason Bates, or whatever. Anyway, he was telling me what he's on in the Endeavour Room one time. I'm thinking, oh, I'm on the same money as a VIP host. I'm not going to. Endeavour Room was boring. Because I was looking at going to change and thought, oh, it's like, no, Endeavour Room's so boring. I'm on the same pay packet. But no one knows what the next host next to you is on. See, this is the thing. You could be doing the exact same job in this is so different the way the world is right now. In my job from at Star Casino, everybody was on a completely different salary. You're doing the exact same work, but you could be on less or more than the person next to you. Because that's how it was. Okay, that's how it was for everybody, right? Which is why you're told to not discuss your salary. Here, and I don't care now because this is fucking ridiculous in the last 11 years because my mother keeps screaming her bullshit so she can admit fraud. And then you've got hosts in Star Casino's bullshit in the background and all this rubbish going on. But you know what? Here is all the patrons in 2002. This is my list that I had to put together to get a selection of VIP patrons in a ship around the house. I don't care. I really don't give a fuck anymore. There you are. And it says the staff here. So the two staff is Tony and Justin. Tony is the executive, Tony Pacello, and Justin Fleming, me, is the VIP host. Oh, I've got all the documents. I've kept all the original. For good reason being is that it was a cutthroat business and you're never going to get a good reference. So you need to back yourself up because no one else is going to. And believe me, I've kept everything, including Sarah Magnoni's email when we talk about Dolores. Peggy and Dolores, there we go. Sarah Magnoni, my boss in VIP services, because I was a VIP host. I have everything, including my original injury management plan. Do you guys want to keep going? Because I'm telling you now, the government workers that got involved in the last 11 years, you broke government laws. Here we go. Justin's return to work. Injury management plan. And it says, goal of the plan is to return to pre-injury duties as a VIP host. There we are. Oh, I've put it up there on social media. I've kept the originals. Do you know what? I actually threw away, pretty much threw away expensive furniture to make room to send back original documents because, you know what, I thought that cabinet's worth X amount of thousands. This is gold. See, I've got the original documents that back up me telling the truth that I'm getting lied about over the years, and I'm going to sue your ass. Which means I'm going to sue fucking state government organisations. We have the rehabilitation signature. We've got David Leeson's signature. Okay, it's all there. So I've kept the original documents that says the return to work as a VIP host, which is what, you know, so New South Wales Police, you're fucked. Because the return to work was supposed to happen back in 2017. Except you gave them a reason to null and void it. There's plenty of evidence there that back that up. Let's go for the next documents, considering you guys want to keep this going. See, I was supposed to get my job back at Star Casino at the end of 10-year part salary repayment, and to prove that I can maintain these injuries until all you organisations want to do your scams. You want to do a mentally retarded scam, a home care scam, a carers scam, mentally disabled or mental health scam when I'd already recovered from all these injuries, and I've got the document. So the original document was sent to immigration that Dr. George Jacobs wrote in his handwriting in 2014. That there was no issues with me going back to the casino now. I've learned to maintain injuries. It's a return to work, and there was no issues. See, I've got that. Immigration might want to have a good check. By the way, this is Casino Control Authority, a government organisation. Okay? So, not only do you have the casino to deal with, you've got to deal with the Casino Control Authority. You guys really did want to fuck me up in the casino industry, didn't you? Is that because of Mum's scam? Or is it because of Little Dirty Abbo's scam? Or is it New South Wales Police scam? Have you ever heard of police corruption? There's a good Royal Commission into it in 1997. I think there should be another one. So, the agreement between myself and there's my license number with the Casino Control Authority. There's my signature. Okay. As a VIP host, which you'll see there. Okay. As a VIP host. So you said it is my salary on this page. Here we go. And for the agreement. Several contracts. I've kept the original because I will sue you because you actually deliberately came after me to trump up bogus charges, knowing that will prevent me from ever going back to the casino industry, and it was also interfere in my immigration status with America. So you deliberately fucked over my life in 2017 as New South Wales Police preventing my return to work, and then since being back in Australia, you kept doing this behaviour to stop me ever going back to my job because you're scamming. It's been a scam since 2015. Well, actually, in fact, it's been a scam since 2009 when my ex-partner pretended to be a carer. None of that was true. And you're still doing it. Government workers are not immune to the legal system. Let me tell you. Okay? Not immune to it. There's already been police officers where the entire New South Wales police force was actually dismantled in the past because of that exact behaviour. The exact criminal behaviour. Here we go. Here's Gordon Gates talking about my salary as a VIP host. There we go. Original document signed by Gordon Gates. Talking about my salary at Star Casino. Oh, but then there's also Tabcorp's. Okay. So you got original documents there. See, Tabcorp. Okay. There we go. VIP host. Okay. So the VIP host at Star Casino is what I was. Do you really think that you're going to walk away from... Like, I love it. You losers think you're going to walk away with paying damages. No, you're not. Everything that's been done towards me since 2015 is criminal. From St. Vincent's, from mental health workers, from social workers, disability workers, home care workers, the deadbeat organisation Mum works for, which is Uniting Church. Oh, you're a dickhead, Carol. Who got her that fucking job? Seriously, what? She couldn't get another job in a legal office. I wonder why. Maybe she mouthed off too much. Here we go. Tabcorp agreement. There we go. You've got Sarah Mignoni's signature right there. This is the original document, as you can see. And you've got, should have my salary package on. I can't see with my glasses, but you'll see 37,000 there. Sorry, 47,730 dollars a year. I can't see without my glasses on, but you'll see it there. Okay. So I was on 47,000, and then my cash in hand job was paying me an extra 31,000 on top of that. That's a good, 70,000 a year plus. Christy Childs, you little cunt. Oh, I fucking hate Christy Childs' guts. She's always been a jealous fucking bitch. That's what her name was always like. I'll tell Dory Evans. Play a prank on Dory Evans. Just a caller. So, well, there's plenty of. I'm not going to go through every document, even though I can, but I've even kept documents where it comes to my work quality. Every email, well, not every, but email that, are important, including, here we go, Jim Lestrange. Here we go, where are we? We've received positive feedback, where he's actually even written, well done. So, where there's actually, so it's a typed up letter, but he's actually even gone ahead and, that's his handwriting, okay, written extra notes, because I was a really good VIP host. Okay, the only reason, and I should still be there, because my work was actually really well. It was like you can see, really well documented. I got a lot of recommendations from management and so forth. The people that didn't like me, well, when it's a cutthroat business and you've got other hosts and you're trying to do the same job and get ahead, well, they're bitches, cunts, actual facts, which is why I never, gave any information to me. Which is why my mum was told several times, can you stop fucking turning up? Stop calling. Okay? I don't like people who work to know who I'm related to, thanks. Okay? Don't turn up. Like, my work's my work. I go to work, I do my job, I go home. They don't get to know who my boyfriend is, what my sex life is, what I'm doing, who my family is, where I'm from, nothing. Then my mum would turn up. It's like, I told you not to fucking turn up. My mum is the biggest piece of fucking shit you're ever going to meet in your entire life. She thinks she's got a right to do whatever she fucking wants. Okay? It's not a job where, I can stop from in and socialise, Carol. When I'm telling you not to turn up and, interfere in my work because I've got a career, she just wasn't the career that she wanted for me. No. Because she wanted me to work in a restaurant. Like the fuck hell. Can't stand fucking hospitality. I worked in an office. I worked in an office that rotated around a 24-hour job. So it was a 24-hour office and I enjoyed it. Okay? There was a lot of hard work in it, but there was also a lot of enjoyment with it as well. So I've kept all the feedbacks, everything. Here we go. Every ambassador, okay, not every, I had a shitload, but, predominantly a lot of ambassador awards, other stuff to do with, okay, here we go, Dear Saro. Information where it talks about my work performance, feedback forms. I went to Saro. I mean, I wouldn't know these people walk past them these days. This is a long time ago. But I was a VIP host. And I've studied design. So I've got every original document. If I'm willing to leave behind beautiful 1930s French wingback cigar chairs, okay, that's not a good... They're only about $1,200 each. But still, you're looking at something that's about, close to $2,500 for a set of beautiful wingback cigar chairs that I had it reupholstered. If I'm willing to leave them behind, I'm willing to leave, the Louis the 14th style, 16th style. Louis the 16th style marble top commode was only worth about $800. Not a good rep, but the solid mahogany Edwardian cabinet, okay, for 1910, that was shipped from the UK to Lawson's near the roundabout in Glebe, and I purchased that auction back in 2006, but that was worth a lot of money. And plus the maple streamlined side tables, Art Deco side tables for the loungers. Oh, and the gold ornate mirror that was purchased in 2006 there in Alexandria. If I'm willing to leave all this, it all adds up. Okay, add it all up. If I'm willing to leave all this behind, so I've got room to bring original documents back, that I'm coming back here to take on you people, groups and organisations and sue you for the damage it cost me. Okay, I want to see anyone who's gaslighted me in the last 11 years arrested for it. I'm sure you can find a good charge, considering everything I've stated is the truth and it's backed up. It's, literally you have got evidence upon evidence backed up with me. Evidence upon evidence. Okay, and then we can go to my studies. Okay, what's this one here? Dear Justin, on behalf of Star City Management, I would like to congratulate you on your Customer Service Ambassador Award. Caroline Hartcliffe. Oh yeah, I was really good at my job at Star Casino. And I was really looking forward to be returning to work because all I was mugged on my way home from work. There was no issues. I had a really good job and a really good career. And you guys prevented me from my return to work in 2017. Like I said, well, here's the return to work. Specifically states, the goal of the plan is to return to pre-injury duties as a VIP host. There you go. Everything you did is criminal. I've listed the laws. I sent them to Nina at Housing Commission. Can you read, Nina? I mean, I do have to wear glasses at times, but can you read? Then read them, because you guys broke those fucking laws and you still do it today. You broke them in my life, and I want to see you women charged. I'm not forgiving from this. I won't even speak to my twin sister again. And I'm really drawing the line there. I will not speak to my twin sister again. You don't disrupt and interfere and cause my life this amount of damage and think that you warrant any respect from me at all. You warrant a legal matter where I want a good legal team to take you on and sue you for 11 years of damages. You set out to do your scam. And the entire time since 2015, I've been saying the information that you workers, you social workers, you mental health workers, you support workers, everything you've got's not true. I'm Justin Mark Fleming. I'm telling you what you've gathered is not true. Correct it, like I told St. Vincent's. And St. Vincent said, oh, but we get information from wherever we gather from. I'm like, well, then that's negligence. That's actually the direct definition of negligence. So I can sue you for negligence. Because that also causes a wrong diagnosis. So do you want to be sued for negligence? Because that's where we're heading. So from there, we've got, okay. Besides the TAFE college courses I did for, alcohol and, bar and table service and so forth, with hospitality, okay, I have my design stuff. So let's just have a brief look at that because, well, you guys love your gaslighting as long as you guys are still committing your little scams, okay, because that's what we're talking about here, aren't we? We're talking about using false information about myself or outdated information or information that wasn't correct to begin with. So information that was gathered through unreliable sources and then believed to be true and passed on through medical health industries and never actually fact-checked or even transparency with me to see what they were told was true. Because that's what we're talking about here. We're literally talking about medical negligence. And other groups and organisations, including state government workers of New South Wales Police having wrong information and even Housing Commission. We are talking about negligence that has now caused me to even lose my permanent residence status to the US that I've held since 2014. We're talking about something that's travelled overseas to America and involves immigration. Negligence. So, okay, we've got the course that I did with interior decoration. There we go, passed it in 2010. There's the interior decoration. I mean, it may not be worth anything now because that's 16 years ago and things change. Things are a bit more advanced now. But, still. Oh, here we go. Basic stuff in interior. Here we go. Interior decoration. Course that I did. Okay. So there's that. So at least, you could have said, well, why didn't you go and do work in interior decoration? Because then I was actually trying to study a 6 months course to pull all my design courses, the 3 design courses that I've done together. And your organisations, with your little mental health scam, stopped me since 2015. Literally stopped me going back to studies because you want to push a narrative and agenda. So what is it? Is it a NDIS funded bullshit? So it actually involves federal fraud. Saying you're doing something for a person you're not doing. So here we go. This is the design fundamentals. Okay, let me just kind of block this out because, okay, the address there. I don't know. But it's all there on social media. Design fundamentals in 1997. So there's design fundamentals. Then we've got design events illustration. I mean, I should have handled more of my work and I've got it all. But this is where I received the credit for my passing in design a wearable object. But again, design fundamentals in 1997 touched on fashion design. Also did furniture design, product design, and logo design. very similar to Design Events and Illustration Certificate 4. So Design Fundamentals felt like this stepping stone into the course that I did in 2009. So I did fashion design, I did design a wearable object, which touched on fashion design again. So let me just cover up my address. So you'll see they received their credit for my past in design a wearable object there. Okay, but you keep going with your gaslighting and lying because it suits you. You see, what these people are trying to do, people, groups and organisations, is cover their ass where they've broken laws in my life because they don't want to pay damages. Haven't you seen they've just continuously, as even the medical health industry has done for 11 years, deliberately lied about me because it's sort of admitting to the fact that, shit, we made a mistake. Justin said the truth and we've made a mistake. I wouldn't have gone for damages years ago because I had plenty of money sitting around doing nothing with. That's what you guys don't get. You should have stopped. Okay? I moved to, I had plenty of money. You guys should have stopped. I wasn't out for anything except for my credibility to be restored. So you should have stopped and removed the false information. Because you wouldn't have had to have paid any money. Except now you've cost me a shitload. And I want everything added up and reimbursed. So we're not just talking about 200,000. Carol. Carol's my deadbeat mother, by the way, that wants to keep this shit going. Oh, that's 2010. That's the interior decoration. Cold start completed, 2010. Okay. Oh, and the fine arts is in there as well. So I have studied to be an artist, and I've worked and got paid in work for art. I've studied to be a designer, and I have been paid for work in design. And here's my, here we go, tape coding stuff for, as you can see, it's my transcripts. I'm just going to block out my address part. And there we are. No, pass. I mean, I did pass a lot more with photography and so forth, but back in those days, so I passed photography. I've got my photography work. It was just the first year. You know, like it was only the first year, but I'd always done, so I've always been an artist. And I passed to be an artist, and I've worked as an artist. I've passed design courses, and I've worked as a designer. I was a VIP host at Star Casino. You saw my salary, $47,730 a year, 20 years ago. I worked cash in hand jobs. I can back this up as well, considering that on my bank statements a few times, Jeff actually had to pay me through the business. So he actually transferred as an income. Just come out of the shower. He actually paid me, sorry, who was going to view this, as an income, and it went into my bank account under the business name. You'll see that. And it is $600 a week. So it's $300 for one day, $300 for the next day. And it comes up. Every other time was cash in hand, but a few times he had to actually pay. It's a good $31,000 a year extra on top of $47,000. As per screen-wise, yeah, I've studied acting for film and television. There's all the details there. Okay, you want the information to do with that? Sure. Okay, so 2000, there we go. 2006, acting for film and television. All the documents are there. I guess you people can't read, and I want to keep this under half an hour. I want to be quick with it, so I can just confirm that there is no personality disorder. What you have is wrong. You see, here, I've actually even marked this out for you stupid people. So if you see, you'll see, it says here about my acting career. Okay, oh shit, okay. So I've actually marked, so if you actually read the newspaper article, it talks about me in 1996 and my acting career because I was always doing acting and modelling. That's myself in 1996. You see, you have a description of someone that seems to be a country person, except who I am has always been studying acting and always been doing modelling. The person that you have a description of, and I've said this to social and support workers and mental health workers 11 years ago, that doesn't match the description of me. This is who I am growing up. Who you have doesn't match me at all. Doesn't match the hair color of me, doesn't match what I was doing. That's myself, and that's how thin I was. Okay, the other thing, what you don't have that matches me, is my figure. You're talking about someone that was fat. And you're also talking about someone that was teased and bullied. I was a fucking model. I got paid for it as a teenager. I got paid. It wasn't like big modeling. It was small modeling. But I was still fucking goddamn paid for it. I won competitions in modeling. And I talk about there when it talks about here. Justin Fleming, Model's Quest, talks about my modelling and acting career. And also says June Daly Watkins. It's there. You can actually get it from the newspaper. It's in archives. You can actually get it from there. And it also talks about my studies in fine arts. Right there. So it talks about my studies in fine arts. Talks about my acting career. Talks about my modelling career. This is back in 1996. So where did you guys get your information from? Because I've been saying now for 11 years in 2 countries. I don't understand. Like, it's like you're getting someone's projection of who they want me to be. So you must get from Mum then, or Amanda. You're not getting me. I did modelling and acting. I've not ever been involved in nature or the bush or anything that you guys have. Literally, Deb Mears from Tamworth was one of those losers of people. So what scam are you guys actually running? Because you don't have any information that's accurate to do with me. You have no information that's accurate. Not one person, group, and organisation, social support worker, mental health worker, anyone has any accurate information that's related to myself, Justin Mark Fleming. And I said this back in 2016, 2017, 2015. I'm like, well, what you have doesn't relate to me, and I can prove it. And again, if you want to prove it with, for an example, here we go. Someone's making up a story about my surname at my high school. Well, there's a document from my high school. Okay? Fleming. Everyone knew my surname was Fleming. The only people that didn't know me. There it is there, right there. Justin Fleming. Anybody who didn't know me through affiliation with my mother would think, because when my mother moved from Sydney, she moved with her second husband to an area we had no friends and family. So if they see me with my mother, they just remember Mum and her husband who she moved there with. And then they'll go like, oh, his name's Rackley. It's like, well, it's not. No one who's ever had a conversation with me would ever be saying, oh, the guy's name's Rackley. Because they know that Mum moved there with her second husband. They would also know I'm not from Tamworth. And my hair has never been blonde since I grew up from being a toddler. It's been black, jet black. I've got black features. And I used to have a mole here on my nose. So I looked very Arabic at school, completely the opposite to my twin sister, where people used to think we're adopted. We're not. I look like a Fleming. So I was black features with a monobrow, where Christy Childs can confirm that we're sitting in the spa bath in Windsor at bloody Ernie's, Nab's father, and I'm shaping my eyebrows because they were so thick and big and one eyebrow. I looked like a fucking wog. I stood out like a sore thumb. I didn't look like anyone in my mother's side, or of course I didn't look like anyone in my stepfather's side. Stepfather's side were ringers. I look like my father's side, which looked like wogs. Okay. So when Mum moved, you got these losers. I had a mole here that I asked Dr. Stewart in Marius Street to remove it. Okay, to remove it. He cut it out and he stitched it in 1992 because that made me look even more Arabic. That was in 1992 when I started year 7. I was dark featured, black hair naturally, and had a mole here and a mole here and a mole here, and I looked like the biggest wog that stood out. Okay? And that's the real reason why I had that removed. Otherwise, I would still have a mole right there on my nose and probably still look like I'm Arabic. Okay? I don't do it. It's not personality disorder. I'm a Fleming. I look like a Fleming. When you look at Stanley Fleming and you look at other family members, or like my dad's side of the family, you look at cousins and so forth, I look exactly like my father's side of the family. Exactly. We all look very similar and ethnic for a good reason. And again, here's another document from a Lady Rosary College, the school I went to. And again, you'll see that my name is correct. Justin Fleming. This one's actually from Tamworth TAFE because I actually did work experience there with... It was to do arts and media. Should be here. I can't see it with my fucking glasses. But it was supposed to be for arts and media. So I did work experience to be an art professor for arts and media. Anyway, oh, there we go. Employ arts and media. Okay? There. I have my original document. I literally got rid of expensive. We didn't want to, but I was like, okay, what's more important? I need to prove what I'm telling people is the truth. So original documents are important, which means that way I can take these people to court and sue them for damages. So whatever I lose, I'll add up. So I'll add up the costs of the furniture, job loss, salary loss, whatever it's costing me to get back to Australia, and I'll put it all together in a package, and I'm going to sue your fucking ass because everything you organisations have stated about me is just a bullshit lie. And then you're still going on with, oh, because you knew me as Rackley. No one knew me as fucking Rackley. If you knew me, you knew me as Fleming. And I'll tell you where Tamworth Northern Daily leader who's from Moonbi Katinga, a little cunt female. Okay? Pin that. So I just want to go with this for a minute. Here we go. Justin Fleming. This is from James Trelaw, who was the mayor of Tamworth. His brother, John Trelaw. I worked there. The Trelaws doing work experience, visual merchandising, and styling. Okay? This is a letter from him. As you can see, it's his original signature there. Okay? Now, I can back up the character of a person I was in Tamworth. The people from Tamworth have described Daniel Rackley. Here's my character. The organisations in or people that harass me, it's like, well, you're not describing me, you're describing the Rackleys. You're describing the Rackleys' issues, because I can tell you now what I was known as, and it was always the same in every single document. This is to certify that Justin Fleming of Rosebery College completed 2 weeks work experience with our company. During his time, Justin worked with our visual merchandising team and showed a willingness to learn. He was very enthusiastic with lots of energy and displayed a creative mind throughout his work. Justin was punctual, cooperative, and it was a pleasure to have him working with us. You would not find anyone in my history to say otherwise, until people started putting Daniel Rackley's information to me. My stepbrother's behaviour. Okay? Everywhere in my history shows this. Exactly the same. Through all the documents I have, through everyone that's met me, for even teachers. You would not find me being disruptive or some rebel or someone that was, causing mischief. No. And I've got the original documents. I have original documents of my nature, who I was as a person. There was no drugs. I was joking. And someone took a joke serious. Thought someone was probably a manic. She's an idiot. I was fucking goddamn joking. By the way, this is when I drove the vintage car into the Port Cochere, the valet of the Powerhouse by Ridges in Tamworth, to host the Millennium Ball. I was dressed up as James Dean. That's myself dressed up as James Dean. The drunk that was working there. I've got to get the original one, because this is not. He's over here. Okay, there was a guy that was always getting drunk that was working. That's Guy. By the way, he lived in East Tamworth. That's Diane Ranchel, I think, and that's Diane Grundy. She was blonde. You're right. Yeah, remember. Oh, hang on. Is her name's there? Let me check. I can't see without my glasses on anyway, so it's going to be pointless. But if you get the original documents of these, or get it from Tamworth Northern Daily Leader, you'll see my name, Justin Fleming, and this was hosting the Millennium Ball. I was hosting in 1999. It's there in a newspaper article. I hosted events in 1999. I relied on my hosting job at the Powerhouse. Okay, when I hosted functions, hosted ladies at luncheon, I relied on that in 2000 to apply for the job at Star Casino for a host. I started out in the restaurant. I moved away from the restaurant straight away at the Powerhouse by Ridges in Tamworth, which I absolutely love. Okay, when you walk in, okay, you've got reception in front of you. You've got 2 valets, by the way. If you go to the far end, so away from reception, you've got another reception. That's where all the big function rooms are. The most beautiful, huge function rooms you're going to see. Better than what I've seen in Sydney. Better. Well, the Powerhouse in Tamworth has. Absolutely better. When we were kids, we used to go up to where the billiards room was upstairs, where Mum worked for Lyons Barnett Kennedy. Okay, when she worked for a legal office and she was a decent human being. Okay, that's now boardrooms and offices. Well, I don't know what it is now, but it was when I worked there in 1999. When you walk in, you've got reception in front of you. To the right, you walk around to the Cold Bunker Bar, the Martini Lounge. To the left, if you keep walking, you've got Monty's Silver Service Restaurant. Then you walk through a couple of doors and you've got where the wine cellar is. Okay? Then you walk to like a little foyer. You've got the kitchen to the right. You've got the other restaurant there, the workshop cafe to the left. You've got the herb garden out the back there as well. Now, you walk through the kitchen. I know this because I used to work there. And you've got the three sort of separate kitchens there. So the kitchen there, then you've got the kitchen in the middle and the kitchen at the back. That continues. And you walk out the back of the kitchen, you've got the other cellar out there. So I started off at the restaurant and I became a sommelier. I did sommelier. Okay, through the Powerhouse. Okay, I did wine appreciation to be a sommelier through the Powerhouse in 1999. I did beer appreciation, I did coffee appreciation, I did tea appreciation. I know so much from that period of 1 year because of what Greg Maguire pumped into his staff. Part of me was very lucky growing up in restaurants, which I was. Mum always worked in a legal office, so that was part of that in me anyway. But I will not forget my roots and would not stand back and say, oh, you know, do you notice? It's like, no. Okay, Caroline Wright, Wayne Buns, and Greg Maguire. Okay, really good. And Twiggy's more the, okay, I'm going to say this, I don't want to cause arguments with Fern, because I adore Twiggy Maguire. You know, she was a really good backbone there with what they wanted to pump out of it. They won Best Restaurant of the Year award in 97, I think it was, for New South Wales. They pumped out, they were a really good organisation to work for. And they put into any enthusiastic staff like myself that saw this as a career and not just as a job while I'm passing through. No, so straight away, I was pulled out of the restaurant, like wasting me as a waiter. I'm like, thank fucking God, because I hate it. And instantly was put into the Cold Bunker Bar, sommelier, hosting events, Maitre D', hosting ladies at luncheon, hosting events. So it's there. It is there in a newspaper article in 1999, in December 1999, regarding myself hosting the Millennium Ball. It is fucking there. I was a host there, like hosting events. I was good at it. Then I went down to Sydney and I used my reference as working, which I wish I had got personal references, but here's my job description. And I had I don't know what I've done with it. I actually had the paper. It has to be somewhere. I must have put it somewhere in a photo album to not get ruined, but I've got the copy of it here. Okay. Look, anyway, I actually had the newspaper article that was just all clipped out. I shouldn't have clipped it out, but I had it all clipped out, and I used that to say, this is what I've done. From the January 1999 to January 2000, I was hosting events, and it was even photographed in the newspaper. That's me driving the car, the vintage car, into the Port Cochere at the Powerhouse to host the Millennium Ball. It was idols and icons, and I was James Dean. Like it was a we're allowed to dress up, but normally it'd be all suits and so forth. And this is what I did. So this was the elaborate side of it for the Millennium Ball. But this is what I did. And then that's where I interviewed, and that's what I used for my interview when I was interviewing at Star Casino in the year 2000. Then there's also references from the Musical Society. I'm not going to, but a reference from the Musical Society, reference from the Dramatic Society, and so forth. Plenty of references. Then there's also, if anyone needs to question my waist or my size, my body type, here's my casting cards from when I was 25. So you have me pretty much the same size, except a little bit bigger. I was a lot tinier as a teenager. Here's me as a teenager modelling in 1996. Here's me still doing like modelling work and acting work. Here's me 1996 doing modelling and acting. Here's me as a 25-year-old. So about 9 years later. Okay, very still similar. So there is no personality disorder. There's me. This is who I am. And I've said to organisations for the last 11 years, what you have, it's not me. You don't have information to do with me. You've gathered information that doesn't relate to anything to do with my life or lifestyle at all. At all. It's almost like saying, look, the information you have sounds very much like Shane Childs. But what you have doesn't relate to me. Here's me. And there's even my friggin' waistline. I had a smaller waist as a teenager. You don't even have my body type or my body shape. Freaking and making up stories that I was bullied. Are you kidding me? Fuck me, dude. Do you know what type of house that we grew up in? My God. People were so envious of what we had. There's nothing really worthwhile in any of the other documents. Just my old resumes and so forth. But these are the facts. I'll leave it there. Are you guys fucking kidding me? We always hosted the best and biggest parties. We had a pool table, we had in-ground saltwater swimming pools, we had a cabana area. Hey, people looked at our horse day and was like, how the fuck do they have all this money? Well, Dad's a builder, okay, because they're forgetting Mum's first husband was a builder and Mum's a paralegal. Massive house, separate living rooms, separate dining rooms, formal living room, huge house, huge stables, best thoroughbreds, expensive trucks, saltwater swimming pool, pool table. We had the fucking best house. When we weren't in Sydney, so when summertime came and we weren't home in Sydney, we had no sports on and okay, weekends off, school's off. We're going to Sydney this weekend. No, we'll stay home. Okay, can we have a house party? Yeah, okay. Who are you going to invite? Oh, Billy Lee, Amanda Wynn. Yeah. We had the best fucking house parties. Ask anyone. Those parties went all night and we had it catered. Pretty much, it was the days when you could have all the alcohol. It was food, everything. You should see Mum's entertainment area. Bullied. People that were disappointed that I didn't invite them. I'm like, well, I didn't think we were friends. I really had it over at school. Yeah. We had the best fucking house parties. In a massive, huge house. Okay? And I did modelling and acting. And if you ever read the documents I've posted there already of my Year 10 yearbook, it actually says, I'll get it really quickly just to put it at the end of this, but it says, I'll see you on the big screen, which people would if I wasn't mugged after work. See you on the big screen, good luck with your studies. It's all messages from people, all my friends. And then I have this issue with these ridiculous organisations in the last 11 years, and I'm there going, well, that doesn't match me, but you've described Justin Pascoe. So, and you won't correct it. So, mental health workers, social support workers won't correct that someone's giving information that relates to Justin Pascoe. Justin Pascoe, Shane Childs, Daniel Rackley, hell, there were some losers that had information to do with Darren Taylor. It's I didn't have long blonde hair and dye it blue. Okay, you just described Darren Taylor. But you lived with your grandfather in Sydney. My grandfather's not from Tamworth. It's you're still describing Darren Taylor. You're still describing Darren Taylor. And you're still describing Daniel Rackley. And you're still... sorry, to you dumb, useless nurses, Daniel Rackley. Not Radcliffe, like you said I was saying. Not Radcliffe. I didn't say my brothers is... he's saying his brother's an actor. He's saying his brother's Daniel Radcliffe and his uncle's a singer, Leo Sayer. No, I didn't, you fucking lying, scummy little nurses. I said Daniel Rackley is my ex-stepbrother, who used to affiliate that deadbeat nursing home with his father, Mark Rackley. And I said my great-uncle is Leo Patrick Sayer, and I always bring up his middle name so people don't think I'm talking about the singer. Okay? Leo Patrick Sayer is my great-uncle. His sister is Mary Sayer. His other brother is Matthew John Sayer. Yeah. Fuck you, nurses are dumb, useless pricks. Maybe lay off the drugs, Nurse Jackies, because that's what you fucking losers are in Sydney. Deadbeat Nurse Jackies. These are the facts. And if I get my Year 10 yearbook, it's the last time I'm going to read this fucking out. You can read it for your fucking goddamn self. But people knew after Year 10, in 1995, I was moving back home to Sydney. Number one, they knew I was back home in Sydney the first term because I missed first term. Okay, then I went back and completed Year 10 and then went back home to Sydney again. Ed's good luck. I'll miss you. Keep in touch or I'll cry. These are the messages from all my friends. Shitloads of messages. Okay? Not one nasty one. Shitloads of fucking messages from people I affiliated with. So if people making up stories like, but you were teased by this person. Was I? Well, obviously didn't bother me. And they probably weren't people that I actually knew or affiliated with. But I'll say this. When these bullshit stories started, instantly information to do with Justin Pascoe was projected onto me. And that was extremely clear. Okay? And you're so fucking dumb. Really? You believe the shit in 2016? Oh my God. Monitored and surveillanced? I told you guys I was going to make a fool out of you. You broke bugging laws, monitoring laws, surveillance laws, privacy laws, confidentiality laws, prying laws, interference laws. Do I want to go on? Okay? Because there's also defamation and discrimination laws. I mean, do you guys just want to hand me over a blank check and I'll write what I'm worth on it? You're fucking idiots. Swear to God. You just went ahead and broke that many laws because someone told you some bullshit story in 2015? So you've seen the fact that I've been doing acting and modelling my entire life. That my entire interest, like I would go to the art galleries, to the theatre, so it's to dance. So ballet and dance and all this, that's who I am as a person. So you know now that you losers, whatever description was attached to me doesn't relate to me. By the way, I grew up playing soccer. I was never interested in rugby league. I grew up playing soccer. Okay? I stopped playing soccer because mum moved. So my last serious tournament was in 1988. And that's because mum moved in April 1989. Now when she moved, there wasn't any soccer in my area. Okay? I fucking hate rugby league. You know that the mental health work in losers from, was it Matthew Talbot Centre, to do with connecting with Housing Commission in St. Vincent's, you came at me in 2017, 2018 with information directly related to Daniel Rackley. Daniel Rackley, Mark Rackley's son. And you wanted to talk about, how do you bet? So I don't know. I used to listen to races because it reminded me of my grandfather. He raced horses. But you wanted to know information about online slots. So this is weird. And then you want to talk about my favourite football team. I've got a good memory. You wanted to talk about my favourite football team being the Dragons rugby league team. Like, the fuck you talking? I don't follow rugby league. Anyone who knows me knows I can't stand rugby league. Never watch it. I watch soccer. I grew up playing soccer. Del Piero was one of my favourite soccer players. My dad used to watch soccer. I grew up playing soccer. My dad grew up playing baseball. You have us wrong. But the Dragons Rugby League, well, that's Mark Rackley's favourite football team and Daniel Rackley's. So I jumped on, checked on social media, there's Daniel Rackley. Social media, playing online slots. That's who your mental health workers had. He actually, I've got the screenshot. I screenshotted his Facebook. In 2018, 2017, I had Facebook posts of him playing online slots, and right next to it, his favourite football team, the Dragons. Okay, you dickheads have had information with Daniel Rackley for a very long time, including New South Wales Police. And I just love this because I'm sitting back going, the more you keep trying to cover your tracks, the more I'm going to use the word as, well, it's corruption. Because you know you've got wrong information. You know you've made a negligent mistake. You know it now went across 2 countries. And you're trying to, dodge the fact that you owe me money? You owe me damages? Yeah. Let's just go with, again, here's my Year 10 yearbook. I'm not going to put it all out there because you can go and check it out on social media already. But there's not one nasty thing there from any of my friends from high school. Nothing that's nasty. Let's just read one of them. Nemiga Boys Rule. They do Shane Hub. Justin, you know what? If you want to get the nature of who I am as a person, why not read what people have said about me? So instead of listening to rubbish and trying to make this bullshit story up to what I was as a teenager, why don't you read people's statements? Because what people said about me as a teenager, from references to school statements, that's who I am. But as I've been saying to organisations, including New South Wales Police, for the last 11 years, you don't have information related to me, because that doesn't relate to my character at all. And then mental health workers went with, well, it's personality disorder. I'm like, no, it's not. You've got information to another person attached to me. Because this is who I am as a person. You can read it. You can read what people actually thought about me at high school. You know, you can read what people thought about me when I was doing work experience and employment. I've kept it. But what you people have, did you get it from Belinda Jeffries, the cocaine addict? Well, that was funny, played a prank on that loser. Because she's a druggo. She reminded me of Christy Childs. She's a deadbeat. So we used to just play pranks on the loser, like what Nan used to tell us to do with Christy Childs. Ask Gio. I came home after first bit. I'm like, oh my God, like, where's the aspirin? I've got a migraine. Why? It's like dealing with Christy. And she's like, drunk Christy? I'm like, yeah, drunk Christy. Because we call mum's sister's daughter drunk Christy. Because the nice Christy, that's my dad's side, is Christy Serenity. So dad's sister, Aunt Linda's daughter, is Christy Serenity. So we always go, when we're talking about mum's side, we're like, oh, drunk, like, which one? Oh, the drunk one. Oh, Sis? Yeah, the drunk one. Her daughter. Christy? Drunk Christy? Yeah, drunk Christy. And we're like, so Belinda Jeffries, I'm like, fuck, man, she's a deadbeat like drunk Christy. Like, really, she's an absolute fucking loser like drunk Christy. So we're there going, oh, yeah, because Belinda Jeffries going, oh, I bet you're like really bad at school. I'm like, yeah, and I was doing this. No, was it? She's a fucking loser. She's a druggo. Like, I'll be coming home going, she's a fucking deadbeat, man. She's an absolute fucking deadbeat. She's like Christy Childs. So, yeah. Like, you can actually, if you want to know who I am as a person, but there it is. Everyone's, like, you can, like, these are the best references you could ever get. And I've said to organisations, and I'm like, you've just, what's this bullshit? Because it doesn't match the facts of who I am as a person. New South Wales Police, I was like, I've never been this person. I can prove it. And I asked Mum, this is why I don't speak to my mother, Carol. The exact reason is because I keep saying, can you help me, Mum? I need a solicitor to get the facts, like this, what I have here, and go after organisations. No, I'm not going to do this unless you do this. I'm like, okay, great, Carol, because your son's been lied about. Do you want to damage your son's life, do you? Because that's what's happening here. Your son's going to have no future unless you shut your fucking mouth and get your son a solicitor like he asked. Like, why do you be such a bitch to your kids from your first marriage? Like, honest to God, you can even read here where Ainsley Bartlett goes, hey, Justin, have fun at TAFE and I'll see you on the big screen. Love ya. Keep in touch. Love always, Ainsley. You're going to see a lot of love you, love always, miss you, oh, keep in touch or I'll cry in all the people that knew me as a teenager. Because I had so many friends. I wasn't, I had a lot of friends. All I did was move back home to Sydney. And I guess if we had mobiles, social media, we probably would have kept in touch. But all I did was move back home to Sydney. And people knew that. Like, now I've had it been made into some weird, like really weird, big deal. I'm like, this is insane. And I'm getting told that, or people have said that this about me and that about me. I'm like, who said this? Who said? Because that doesn't describe the character of the person I am. Definitely doesn't describe who I was as a teenager. Because I never did any of this. So who's the ones that said it? Like, here's me. Like, the biggest lair you're going to see me. There's me hailing a cab after Belvoir Theatre in 1995 in Surrey Hills. Being a lair. That's actually me. And that's Amanda Young. And there is me there. Always a lair. My hair's slicked back. That's me. That's Shane Vincent. That's Miss Gill. That's Laura Keegan. Who said it? There's Beck Munro. Who said it? Who said this? Because my Judy Ball absolutely adored me. There's my little message to Judy Ball when she's in hospital. From Justin Fleming. Who said this shit about me? There is not one bit that even police have. I'm like, this doesn't match me. You're making me out to be someone I'm not. It matches Shane Charles and Daniel Rackley, and it doesn't match me. Like, honest to fucking God. I've been saying it for 11 years. I'm like, I can prove this, that everything that you guys have doesn't match me. And I asked my mother for a whole 11 years since 2015 to help her son, and she's refused. So, but then get fucked. You're going to do whatever bullshit scams you're doing, then get fucked. You're not in your son's life if you want to be part of the trouble being caused and the damage. That's why you're not in your son's life.